Hello, everybody. Hope all of you guys are doing well. I'm doing well, just so you know. And today we have a very special guest here today with us, Sana. We had to reschedule because I was just so passionate about the interview, and I really wanted to do this. So I'm like, no, nothing's gonna stop me from doing this. So here we are today. So we're gonna hear her introduction from herself, and then take it from there.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Nauman Chaudhry. I am an architect and a certified zero waste professional. I'm the founder of Resource Zero Waste and the co-founder of BreatheIO. So basically at Resource Zero Waste, we work with industries, institutions, and organizations for waste reduction at source. We try to reduce their carbon footprint. At BreatheIO, we have developed a smart air purifier that uses artificial intelligence to purify indoor air.
Ooh, that's interesting. We'll come back to the more of the questions that I have about the idea, but first let's start with how was your childhood?
My childhood was spent playing outdoors. Okay, I'll give you a little background. I was born in Sialkot. I'm the youngest of three elder brothers. And my father was in the armed forces. So in my childhood, we moved a lot. Like every 3 years, we would move from one station to another. So I've traveled a lot across Pakistan. So that's where I get my desire and my liking for traveling. So we moved a lot, and the thing about living in these cantonments is that it's a very close knit community. So all the kids are basically outside. You come home from school and you're just waiting till the sun goes, like the sun is bearable, and you're outside and you're playing outside.
That's true, and I feel like being having your parents in the Air Force, Army, and armed forces basically gives you a lot of exposure because we've got parties, we've got so many things going on. So I feel like it really prepares you for a more professional life because we're told how to behave from like the start, and we're really very nice and all. So yeah, I've also been traveling for all my life. I was born in Peshawar, and then Karachi and Bisalpur, and then like Islamabad again, and Rawalpindi. So we keep on moving like that. So how did it start for you with like zero waste? Why zero waste? You could have done anything else.
Actually, it didn't start from there. It started um, from architecture, basically. The thing is that when you move a lot, we would be allocated a house, like whichever station we were posted to. We would be given a house. And I would observe my mother personalizing that space, that particular space, no matter what kind of space we were given. So she would make a lot of effort, put in a lot of effort to personalize that space, to make it more comfortable, and to render it according to her choice. So that sense of a person, like that need for every human being to personalize that space, I learned it from there, which actually triggered my interest in architecture. And having moved across Pakistan, I noticed one thing which stayed with me, was that no matter which city that I went to, I saw waste there. I saw waste lining the streets. I saw waste being thrown out of cars. I saw waste being thrown out of homes. So now I believe that the situation has improved a lot, but we still haven't actually targeted the source. We've thought of methods of disposal. We've sorted out our disposal, but we haven't actually worked on waste reduction, because there's a lot of energy that goes into making products, and we are like a throwaway society. We buy, we consume, and we throw. So I personally believe that there's a lot of work that needs to be done in that domain.
I feel like too, and I agree with you because everywhere I've been in Pakistan, there's always been waste, and like I could barely like find a place where there is no waste, and it's like, oh my god, what is this? And I feel like rather than just like finding substitutes to like how we're disposing, I think the why is it there is mostly the question. Like, why is it there? And there's not only that the energy that goes in, but the amount of labor that goes in, the capital and everything. So I feel like yeah, not just like having like turning like uh, a bottle into like a pencil holder will just do it. There's more steps that you can take towards a more sustainable world, also when talking about waste. So, and I really feel relatable because when we move a lot, we have to make that place our house for a year to like a certain amount of time. So I feel like just like personalizing it and really just adapt very quickly is a skill that is up our sleeves. Very nice. Being daughters that have parents in the armed forces. Um, so when did you start really researching or studying waste? Sorry,
Um,
zero waste.
I actually I graduated as an architect from the National College of Arts in 2010. I worked in the industry, and then I got married. I moved abroad. I lived in Oman for 8 years. And that basically reinforced the whole zero waste idea, because over there, they had certain processes. Oman is one of the cleanest countries in the world. It has been graded as one of the cleanest countries in the world, and they're one of the developing nations. They're not considered a developed nation. So if they could do it, I always used to think, why can't we do it? The thing was, they had processes in place. So having lived there for 8 years, you actually you learn a lot from that country. You learn, when you're part of that society, you learn a lot of things from them. And you should, whichever country that you're living in, you should actually learn new skills and new ways of life. Like the good part, you should always adapt. So I learned those processes from there. When I came back, I started working again in the industry, and then a group of architects launched an initiative called Lahore's Initiative of Neutralizing Carbon. What we did was, there's an annual exhibition at the Institute of Architects Pakistan's Expo. Annually it is held, so there's a lot, like, it's a huge event. So a lot of people from various backgrounds come and attend that event. So we took that as a platform, and we launched this initiative in which we basically talked about three areas of concern of Lahore, like water, air, and waste. So we made a 7,000 plastic bottle pavilion just to raise awareness about the wasteful lifestyles we have, the plastic consumption problem that we have right now, and how that plastic mostly ends up in our waters and how it is contaminating it. Then we introduced waste sorting, which is a foreign concept, a somewhat foreign concept in Pakistan, because at grassroots level that is not being done. Then we had these separate installations where we actually wanted the public to interact with them. That was the foundation for Resource Zero Waste. From there, I took the waste initiative forward, and then I developed it into an enterprise, and I got incubated with the National Incubation Center where at LUMS, where I developed it into a fully functioning enterprise because it needs to sustain itself. So that's how zero waste came into being, and now we're actually working with certain organizations to implement our strategies.
I see, and it's amazing. And I feel like about the National Incubation Center, because I've also been incubated there. I feel that they're really supporting the new ideas, because maybe around the world it's even happening, but the most important thing is it happening here in Pakistan? Do we have that? And well, you started it here, so you know congratulations and thank you so much for doing what you do. How did the air purifier that you talked about earlier came to be? Because I'm really interested, how is it AI and how does it work?
BreatheIO, I joined BreatheIO a little while back. I have a certification in healthy materials, which it 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 revolves around the off gassing that our building materials do. Our the indoor air quality is 10 times worse than the outdoor air quality. And in Lahore, we've actually had smog fest for the past few years. So the outdoor air we know is quite hazardous. But what we don't know is the impact of indoor air on occupant health. So it's not just the outdoor air coming in, but also the building products that we're using to build our spaces, and the cleaning products that we use indoors that are having a catastrophic effect on our health. So the air, what the air purifier does, it actually I was quite fascinated with it because when the smog fest came, I wanted to purchase an air purifier myself because I have two kids. I'm a mother of two boys, so I was worried about their health. So for their classroom, we wanted to buy an air purifier because they spent like half of their day in school, where you can't really control the environment. So a lot of mothers were worried about it, and we wanted to purchase an air purifier. It was very expensive, given like we all pitched in and bought one. So the idea of an affordable air purifier, and secondly, with the normal air purifiers, the problem is that it does not monitor the air. What BreatheIO does is it monitors the air. It has an air monitoring sensor, and then it uses a HEPA grade filter to filter that air so that occupants can breathe pure air. Secondly, it is supported by an iOS and Android device, which gives you real-time mapping of the air around you. So that is how it uses artificial intelligence. It is constantly monitoring and adjusting itself according to the pollutants in the air around you.
I see now, I see a lot of new things that are coming, in Pakistan or are being developed in Pakistan. And the first thing I'm like, oh my God, I want to have this. Whether that be anything. You see the price and you're like, or maybe not. How was it for you creating such a thing that was affordable? I understand that that was inspired by a personal, incident where you did want something. You did want that, air purifier, but you could not have it, like, because it was that expensive. So how was the journey for, making that? And did you have realizations that there's so many things that can be made, that are made cheaper, but just for, the sake of the huge profit margin, it costs a lot.
If you manufacture things locally, you can lower the cost because we are importing a lot of these things from different companies. One thing is to produce these things locally. Secondly, as I mentioned before, BreatheIO combined two technologies. It is an air monitor and it is an air purifier. So you've got the problem and the solution, both in one thing, in one unit. Plus, making it affordable was the key concern, because we also wanted to make this available for users that cannot really afford like a 50,000 rupees air purifier or a minimum like 35,000 rupees air purifier, because we believe that everyone has a right to breathe clean air.
I see. And you're so right. So is it in the market right now? So can I, for example, or anybody that's in the audience, be able to buy it? And if yes, where can we buy it?
Not as yet. We have around 100 beta users. Initially, we made 3D printed devices because we were waiting for our injection molding. Injection molding is where you are you familiar with injection molding?
No, I'm not actually.
Okay, so it is injection molding is a technique where you make a mold. Basically, you make a mold, and then pressurized material is sent into it at high temperature, so that the frame, actually the case of a product is durable. It is made in a way that it is durable and it is seamless. The problem with our 3D devices was that it broke, because 3D printing is useful to a certain extent. And we did that in-house. 3D printing was done in-house. All those air purifiers that were given to beta users were printed in-house. So right now we've actually, our injection molding, the the unit, our injection molding unit, is being prepared in China, and within a month we will have our production line set up and we will be floating our product in the market. So we're just waiting for our product to come, our mold to arrive in Pakistan.
I see. And that's awesome. And as soon as it does, I will be definitely one of the people that will promote it, because I believe too that everybody has the right to breathe nice, fresh, or
Pure
like
air.
at least clean air, you know?
Yes.
So now tell me, why did you choose 3D printing? Because I've been, studying tech with my summer school and stuff. And 3D printing is one of the very new technologies. Why did you choose 3D printing? Because 3D printing in Pakistan, I haven't seen it as a very common thing because it's super expensive.
The thing with 3D printing is that in order to produce a minimum viable product, it's easier to develop that, a 3D printed minimum viable products. Because if you're during the design thinking phase and the iterations, you can actually make you can make these small models out of cardboard just for your own study. But when you need like a functioning device, you need a proper mold, you need a proper device, then we went into 3D printed. Because in order to test our product, we needed it to be as close to the injection molded product as possible. So 3D printing was the route that we had to take.
I see. Thank you so much, Sana. It was such a pleasure having you on. And well, I learned new things today, definitely. So, what is it that you'd like to say to everybody out there?
I would just like to say that someone once told me that it doesn't matter how big your steps are. If you have a goal, if you have a dream, if you have an idea, just keep working towards it. It doesn't matter if you are achieving big things or if you're taking tiny steps. As long as you are moving towards your goal, that is progress. So I would like to ask everyone out there, if you have an idea, if you think uh, it is solving a problem, if you think your idea can solve a problem, do work on it. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you live, what your circumstances are. There is always a way to get it done.
Yeah, and I love that you put age in it, because many people are like, so that's after you're 18. So that's after you've graduated college, or that's, after that. And I'm like, wait, I am
No,
13 years
after or before.
old. So, I feel like there's no age of following your passion and taking, even if, like you said, small steps, making progress towards your ultimate goal, or explore for your goal. So thank you so much, Sana, for being on. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I am in absolute awe of what Sana does, and I'm sure that we'll be doing more sessions, but with more focused topics related to her work, my work, our interests. So we'll be sure to be back. Thank you so much, and goodbye.